John Lydon, also known as Johnny Rotten, you voted for President Trump because you have the right to do that. You're a resident in LA. What is so appealing about President Trump, which lots of people over here find confusing?
Well, look, I'm working class English, right? It makes complete sense to me to vote for a person who actually talks about my kind of people. Now, the media in America, all of it, it's liberal-minded, it proclaims to be, but it's only really basically liberal with the truth. They toe the line of the Democrat Party by assumption that they know what's best, yet they don't know nothing about, say, blue-collar workers, Latinos, African Americans, in or outside of large cities. It's assume the position is the Democrat Party attitude. Now, Trump, he's not a politician. He's never claimed to be. How unusually, exceptionally wonderful is that for people like me? Working class people, we're bored with your intellectual left-wing ideas. We can't take much more of you. You talk twaddle. Everything you do, you just miss the point of who the general population are.
But John Lydon, I was just going to say, what about his rudeness? What about his obnoxiousness?
Nothing for these people. Nothing. And this is why they now support him so loyally, because he's the only hope. Now, you could call him a narcissist, you could call him nasty, he could be many different things, this fella. But he's the only hope, because the system, as usual, is a SH system.
All right, John, let me jump in. What's it like for you? You're in Los Angeles, which is obviously a very liberal city in a very liberal state. What is it like being you with these views surrounded by wokies?
Well, it's hell on earth, let me tell you, right? I've watched what the Democrats have done to California, let alone this entire West Coast, and it's utterly disgusting. I mean, if you want Chaz, Biden's your fella, right? That's it. Plain and simple. They've shown nothing by way of progress or making things better for anybody. It's chaotic, it's dogma-led, it seems to have a Karl Marx agenda behind it, although they're confused about their honesty even on that. The politics of left-wing is utter confusionism, and I despise them for it.
John, your new book is called
workers.
Your new book is called I Could Be Wrong, I Could Be Right. It sounds to me like you'll probably think you're right.
Well, some of the time, that's highly likely. The evidence so far on my career has been I'm generally correct. Now, if you ask me who's going to win the election, God, I don't gamble, you know? I just don't, and I wait to see how people view this. But, I mean, so far, whether he wins or loses, Trump's proved a major point that this country has been divided by smart-ass, know-it-all city slickers versus what? The thickos and the stupids of us, you know? Because we don't agree with your liberal-minded agenda. Well, your liberal-minded agenda, look what it's done in Portland and Seattle. Hey, do you want some more of that everywhere?
Well, explain what it's done in Portland and Seattle, John.
Hell on earth, right? 140 solid days of rioting, which Biden would quite happily proclaim as peaceful protesting, and what went on afterwards in the later hours is not dealt with. He doesn't deal with Antifa and BLM in any honest way at all. They're not an organisation. Well, they're so closely affiliated with the Democrat Party, so maybe the Democrats are not an organisation either. I'm puzzled by the nonsense of it. It's just completely destructive.
John, in all the time you've lived in
this Biden nonsense, right? This absolutely appalling statement of you're not black if you don't vote for him. Now, Hello, that really upset a lot of black people,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I have to live here. We tolerate that. And this brings me back to that other champagne socialist, Hillary Clinton, who I mistakenly thought was a nice person a few years ago, when she called Trump supporters a basket full of deplorables.
Yeah.
John, we have to
Right,
leave you. But we're going to go and talk to Nigel Farage.
don't forget,
Are you a
man.
fan of Nigel Farage? Because we're about to talk to him.
Yeah, I love Nigel.
I thought you might be.
You were responsible for me meeting him.
Really?
Yeah, on that show that day when Nigel was leaving the stage and I was coming in, there was a dreadful Labour MP getting in our way. I quickly pushed aside to say, "Hello, Nige."
John Lydon, fantastic talking to you. That's certainly woken everybody up.
It
Really
certainly
appreciate
has.
it.
I love the
Rise
fact-
with you, and your enemies always be behind you. May they scatter, flatter, batter, and shatter.
The title of John's book, I could be right.